Your party comes around a bend in the path. Running towards you, sword half drawn, is a half-orc fighter. What do you do? What does it mean that this half-orc is running toward you? What does it mean that he has his sword drawn? The meaning that you attach to that will change what you do next. Roll for perception.
Distinctions for Life, helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference.
Welcome to Distinctions for Life, where I help you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. I'm your host, Ron Davis. If you would like more advice, visit my website at distinctionsforlife.tv. If you fail your perception check, you may decide that that half-orc with the sword is attacking you. If you succeed, you may notice the Minotaur chasing him. He's not running toward you, rather away from something. The action is exactly the same, but the meaning is different. One of the weird things about life is that we mostly make it up. I don't mean that we make up the facts, the external events that happen to us, but we do make up what those things mean. If your political candidate loses the election, that means that there is going to be blood in the streets and concentration camps will replace shopping malls. Okay, that is a bit of an exaggeration, but we generally make up meanings to events. Sometimes we make up meanings out of ignorance. We see a spider and become sure that it will bite us and kill us. But most spiders don't bite humans, and even fewer would do any damage at all. But a spider bite means death because that is the only thing that we know about spider bites. Sometimes we make up a meaning based on what we fear will happen. If you lose your job, you're probably going to starve to death, lose your home, and be living on the street. Not necessarily in that order. Sometimes we make up things based not on our fears, but on our hopes. You lose your job and think, now I will be able to grow my side hustle into a sustainable business. Or it'll change when we get married. They're all hallucinations, fantasies, good and bad, about what will happen because of events. To quote Mark Twain, I've lived through many tragedies, some of which were even true. It goes beyond events and their imagined outcomes. It also is a big part of interpreting communication. As we talked about in our word series, words have definitions, but they are fluid and in the minds of the hearer. So we define words to have certain meanings. But it goes beyond words. How many of you ever gotten a dirty look? My mom used to claim these all the time from my dad. Or the term resting bitch face is attaching meaning to certain facial expressions, in this case, just a relaxed expression. Once we create a meaning for something, event or communication, then we react not to that event, but to what it means. When we start thinking about the meanings we are creating for things, there are a couple of questions that can be useful. First, are these meanings accurate? And second, are they useful? If you mess up on a test and then say, I'll never learn this, or see, I can't do math, you're taking one instance and saying it means everything for all time. This is a generalization. Generalizations are probably the easiest to see as inaccurate. Just thinking about it for a minute can be all that it takes to change the meaning. And then there is exaggeration. This is where we blow things up bigger than they are. Will concentration camps really be set up in America if your person loses an election? No, because there are lots of checks on presidential power, and our government just isn't that efficient. Plus, concentration camps are a very special kind of evil. When people compare something like holding centers for immigrants on the Mexican border to concentration camps, it shows a gross misunderstanding of what a concentration camp was. Even extremely unjust and wrong things like the internment camps of Japanese Americans during World War II can't be compared to concentration camps. Read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning if you want to truly understand what a Nazi concentration camp was like. An exaggeration is often used on you to manipulate you into action. It wants to change your perception of an event to get you to take action. Last episode, we talked about how the internet playing demigods focus your attention on certain things. This, though, is where other wizards of words and video make those things seem bigger and scarier. They want to cause fear or anger so that you will do something other than think deeply. Still, sometimes you wish there was a wizard that would cast fear on you for those things that you don't want to do that you keep doing. Which brings us to the second question about meanings. Is it useful? Believing that you are going to have a heart attack if you eat that donut or miss that workout is probably inaccurate. But it might be useful if it keeps you from eating that sugar bomb and gets you to the gym. I have a speech that I do called You Need Better Fears. And the basic premise is that the problem isn't fear, it is what you are afraid of. Are you terrified of talking to that pretty girl at the bar? Or are you afraid of not talking to her and missing the chance at happiness? Are you afraid of making that sales call and getting rejected? Or are you afraid of not making sales and losing your job? Your fears in both cases are based on meanings that you have attached to the event. Better to choose a useful meaning that will motivate a positive outcome. Question of the day. Are the meanings that you are giving the events in your life helping or hurting you? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching today. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. This channel is all about helping you get what you really want in life with small changes that make a big difference. Until next time, I'm Ron Davis. Your party comes around the bend into the path. Your party comes around a bend in the path. Running towards you, sword drawn, is a half-elf. That's right. If you fail your perception check, you may decide that half work with the sword is attaching you. Golly, Ron.